Hey parents, my name is Lindsay Brown and I am a school counselor, and I want to share with you some of the details that you might want to know regarding your student graduating from a Florida public high school. I want to go over two different options with you. There are two different options in the state of Florida for a student to earn a diploma. They are both standard diplomas in the sense that they are graduating from high school. They are meeting all requirements for graduation, and they can pretty much be used for the same purposes. So the two diploma options that we offer, the first is the 24 credit standard diploma option, and this is most likely the option that you are the most familiar with. The other option is the 18 credit Excel diploma option. And Excel stands for Academically Challenging Curriculum to Enhance Learning. That might sound a little bit scary, and it might sound like it's more difficult, but this Excel diploma can actually be used in two different ways. For students that are trying to get ahead and would like to graduate early, they may even want to start college at an earlier time, they would have the opportunity to take very advanced academic classes and still earn what they need to go straight to a university. This option can also be used if a student is credit deficient, or maybe they're behind in school, maybe they were retained at an earlier age, and they want to do their high school career in 3 years. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. But if you look at the bottom of the screen, I want to make sure it's clear that either diploma will allow a student to graduate from high school in Florida, apply to and be admitted to a college or university, and also apply for and be awarded scholarships, including Bright Futures, as long as you meet the other requirements. So first, I want to talk a little bit about the credit requirements for graduation. For the 24 credit standard diploma, you have to earn at least 24 credits, and those credits have to include specific classes. You need 4 English classes. Most likely, students will take 1 each school year. The students also need to take 4 math credits, and those credits have to include Algebra 1 and Geometry. 3 science credits are required. 1 must be biology, and the other 2 must be equally rigorous science classes, including at least 1 lab component. I think that most of the sciences that we offer here do qualify as equally rigorous. They also need to have 3 social science credits, and those are very specific classes. So 1 credit of world history, 1 credit of US history, a half credit of economics, and a half credit of US government. Those are the academic requirements, but there are a couple other credit requirements. Each student must have at least 1 credit in a performing or practical art. There are many classes that will meet this requirement. Some examples are art, theater, band, chorus, technology or computer classes, culinary, music, speech. You could even use 2 years of ROTC to meet this requirement. Students also have to have at least 1 credit of HOPE, which is PE, or they can have personal fitness, which is a half credit course, along with any other half credit PE course. So that could be team sports, volleyball, basketball, really any PE course will work. This requirement can also be met by 2 years of ROTC or 2 years of playing a junior varsity or varsity sport in high school. You can also use marching band to meet half of the PE requirement if your student is in band. The last credit requirement is for each student to complete 1 virtual school course. Now notice that I put 1 course and not 1 credit. There are many half credit options of courses for students to take through Alachua eSchool, Florida Virtual School, or maybe at your school, you might have Edgenuity or Edmentum. So at least one virtual course would be required to graduate. Now, if your student opts to graduate with the 18 credit Excel diploma, the requirements are almost the same. I put them up here again for you so you can see that there are very few differences in the requirements. The biggest difference, the total amount of credits needed to graduate. So your student would only have to earn 18 credits rather than 24. And what this is doing, it's basically taking out elective requirements and focusing more just on the academics needed. So 18 credits, you still have to have the same number of English, same number of math, science, social science, and you do have to have that art requirement. But the PE requirement is waived and the virtual school course is waived. So your student would still have all the same academic requirements, and if they wanted to go straight to a four-year university or be looked at for Bright Futures scholarships in Florida, they would also have to have 2 years of foreign language and at least up to Algebra 2 for math. Aside from credit requirements, students also have to maintain a grade point average in order to graduate. Each student must have a 2.0 unweighted GPA, which is a C average. Now remember, GPA is cumulative. So every semester, that GPA will change when semester grades post to the transcript. That GPA will also change if your student may be doing some sort of credit retrieval, making up a class, sitting in a class for a second time for grade forgiveness. All of those new grades would change that cumulative GPA. So your student must maintain that 2.0 to graduate. So I put a little chart here just so that you can see how points are awarded for each grade that a student earns. So if a student earns an A grade, they can get up to 4 points in their unweighted GPA, which unweighted is what we look at for graduation purposes. Now, if they're taking an honors or an AP class, they could get up to 5 points in their weighted GPA. Okay, and you can look all the way down to where if a student fails a class, they will not have any points going into their GPA. I put an example here so you could see how a GPA is calculated. So this might be a standard 9th grade course and 9th grade grades. So you add up quality points for each grade that's earned. You get your total amount of quality points and you divide by the number of courses taken. So you can see that this student has a 3.33 GPA with 20 quality points divided by 6 classes. The last requirement for graduation is in regards to testing. So there are 2 tests that students must pass in order to graduate high school. The first is the ELA Writing and Language Arts test, and that test is taken in the 10th grade. They must earn a level 3 on this test. The other test is the Algebra 1 FSA. They must also earn a level 3 on this test. As you can see here, I put that they could also earn a concordant score or a comparative score. And we also have something called a waiver that students with IEPs might qualify for. However, please see the testing presentation for more information about testing.